Welcome back to Python programming class. In our last class, we talked about console application, and we did mention that the purpose of showing you the purpose of showing you the process is just to learn how to do it, not to write the code. By the time we complete chapter 1, by the time we finish chapter 2, you'll be able to write the code yourself. But these are things that you need to know that will help you get the job done when we get to chapter 2 of Murach Python programming. So I will do a little bit of revision on how we develop the console application. Basically, you click on your window button. When you click on the window button, once it comes on, you're going to type "Hido." Then you open it. Once you open it, it's going to open this page for you. Once you have this page, because you can't write chunk of code right here, you need the editor. So what do? You go to File, you click Open. So when you click Open, it's going to open this page for you. Then what did you do? So in the last class, we basically copy this code and paste it here, and we click Run. So we don't need to run today. This is just to show, give some, just to refresh our mind. So because we're going to continue from where we stop. If you need the detailed information on how we, develop the console application, go check the last video. Then from there you can continue with it. So today, our agenda today is to continue from where we stop. So basically, we just assume this code has been written, and we click on Run, and when running, we develop. Then we develop the application. Then also we use a command prompt to develop same thing. So for today, I'm going to explain some of the components of the code that we wrote, which is this. I'm going to explain the component. So if you look here, if you look up here, this is the question telling us what we need to do here. Don't worry about writing this yourself right now. When we get to chapter 2, you have a lot to practice. So you're going to do them yourself. So this is what we wanted to develop. Basically, this is to develop a calculator that will determine what your age is going to be in the next 100 years. If you look at this code up here, there's a line of code here. It's called shebang. It's called shebang line. It's basically telling your program the type of interpreter to use. And this is telling your interpreter that I want you to use Python 3 to compile this program for me. Okay. So, and if you look at it, we basically supply this program with 5 user input. One, name, current age, years underscore at underscore 100, years underscore of birth, year of birth, and the color, your favorite color. So this the program takes this entry and calculates the year you will clock 100 years. So this particular line, which we call shebang line, you don't need it if you are using Windows machine, but you don't need it if you are using Windows machine, but Unix like operating system, you will need it. So, and also there's another important thing I want us to look at. How does Python compiles the code? I want us to look into that. How does Python compiles this code? Now, as we said that after you develop your console application, you're going to run it. We have the shebang line on top of it. The shebang line is mainly to tell the program the kind of interpreter to use. And in this case, we identify that we want the program to use Python 3. So what happened in the process? All we do is just that we click on run and it ran the code for us, and we did whatever we wanted to do. So but how does this actually, how does this operate in, how does it operate? How does it operate? We are interested in knowing how it operates. So here you see, you say how Python compiles and runs source code. What do we mean by source code? If we say source code, what do we mean by that? A source code is a set of instructions written in a programming language that a programmer uses to create a computer program. That's the meaning of source code. So, and basically, when you write a source code, this everything we did here, everything that we've written under this editor here is called a source code. When you write a source code, will be written in an editor. Then you save it as .py. So you save it as .p. When you save it, becomes a source code. So basically, this is a source code. In there is a source code. So so now let's look at how Python is able to, run the code. What's going on underground? But we just come here, you write your code and you click run and it does it for you. So the source code for console application. First of all, you go to the editor. As you see in the previous slide, that we have to go to the editor to write our code. After writing the code, we save it as .py, which is .py. Then, after saving it as .py, what happened next? The interpreter then compiles the source code in form of a bytecode. So the bytecode, this bytecode now then translate. The bytecode is translated by the Python virtual machine into an instruction that the operating system can relate with, and that's how the process goes. Okay. Then another important thing that I will also like us to look at is one moment. I also want us to look at how disk storage and main memory works. But before I talked about that, let me repeat myself one more time. This code right here, you said you go to idle, you type idle here. Then once it opens, it opens this for you. Then you go to file, you click new file, then it opens this for you. Then we pasted the code right here. Then we explain what's going on underneath, because what we basically do is that we click run and the thing run right away, but we don't know what's going on underneath. So what's going on underneath is what I've explained under the source code for console application. You go to the editor. This is our editor. Then after writing your code, you're going to save it as .py. Then what happens next? The interpreter then compiles it. It compiles it into a byte code. So then the byte code then translated. The bytecode is translated by the Python virtual machine into an instruction which operating system can relate to, and that's all about that. So here, whenever you work here, whenever you write your code and you run your code, the information is basically saved. It's just saved temporarily. And that's why we're going to talk about how disk and main memory work. So because when you run the code, when you basically run this code, the information, the data that you used is basically saved in the main memory. It didn't save in disk storage. By the time we get to chapter 7 of Murach Python textbook, we're going to be talking more about this. But it's still part of introduction that we need to talk about. So computer consists of central processing unit and a main memory known as RAM. RAM is known as random access memory. So when an application runs, its byte code is stored in the main memory and its instructions are executed by CPU. So the data that the application will be currently using is stored in the main memory, and this type of storage is temporal. However, the data will be lost when the application ends. So once this application ends, the data will be lost. Okay, so to store the data of an application, disk storage is commonly used. So this type of storage remains after the application ends, and this is called persistent data storage. So there are two types of software. There are two types of software on a disk. There are two types of software on a disk. One, we have the system software for computer. Um, the system software provides all of the software that is needed for running the application, including the operating system. The application software consists of the applications that are available on the system. Main memory and disk memory are commonly measured in megabytes. So gigabyte and a byte is roughly equivalent to one character of a data. Okay, so when you start your computer, it loads the operating system into main memory. Then you use the features of the operating system to start an application. So when you run an application, the operating system loads it into main memory. Then it runs the application. So as the application runs, it may read the data from disk storage into main memory or write data from main memory to disk storage. And this is all about learning about console application and how it works. Okay.